Hey, if everybody would like to stand up, I'm going to open with a prayer. And Jim Weatherby is going to lead us in the pledge. Father, we thank you for today. We ask you to bless each one present. If there be any illness among them, that you would heal them. And we ask you to bless the food, bless the people that prepared it, and bless each person that shows up to help the kids. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Jim. We're going to eat at, we're going to go through the line at 4:30. And while you're eating, I'm going to be doing the talking. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I dug in the archives trying to find people that were still here. A lot of people moved away, and then I was very fortunate. I found Mitzi over there, who's been here since she grew up here. And she was one of the first junior Optimist clubs we started in Choctaw. And she was the president of the Optimists. And then Chad Hamilton, who's not here, was the Octagon president at Choctaw, and he was down in 89 and 90. So he thought he might be able to come, but he didn't. So there's no problem there. So let's see. I'm not used to using the mic. So we'll give you a brief rundown on of some of the things we've done over the 50 years. 50 years is a long time. But I know we're not that old yet, but we're optimistic about that. So, some of the things we've done over the years, and we've sponsored Junior Optimists at Choctaw, and we had one in Fort Walton Beach, and the young lady's name was, Lopez was the married name. I left her name. That's a good. But anyway, it was what was her name, Al?
I can't remember.
That's a long time ago. But she went on to be the JOI president of Optimist, and then she went on to be the in Canada. She was the JOI International, and she was a local student from Fort Walton Beach High School. So she went the whole 9 yards, and which is really
Ambrosia was the first.
Ambrosia. That's the sorry about that. Ambrosia. That's good.
I think her married name now is Lopez, but I
Yeah.
don't remember her last name.
But she did very well with the program there. And then we went on. We used to go to the senior citizens club and do watermelon bashes with Jim Odom and that bunch back in those years. And then we had a bingo fundraiser down on Perry Avenue, and that building, I don't know what the building was.
Bingo Castle.
Bingo Castle, yeah. We actually called bingo, made a little bit
It's
of
a
money.
barn now, I think.
And we've sold rice and all that stuff to make money, so donations are better. And then Law Enforcement Day, where we had respect for law. The Highway Patrol, Lucas County, and the Sheriff's Department, and Fort Walton Police Department nominated a troop that they had, a person, and then we presented them with a meal and a plaque. That was the Law Enforcement Day there. And then we had Youth Appreciation Day where when Glenda Glover was mayor, we used to run them through the city of Fort Walton and let them see how the city is run. And then we have an essay contest which allows a young person to write essays, and they get a chance to go on and win to a $2,500. If it gets through, the winners here go on, the winner goes to the next level, and then they can go. And is it still $2,500, Karen?
Pardon?
The asset.
$5,000.
Is it 5,000 or 2,500?
Yeah, 2,500 for us.
2,500 if they went down there. And that's what Ambrosia did, she won that down there, so that was good. And then we had Junior World Golf, we had it right here at this golf course, and I think we had it at Shalimar one time too, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've had 2 of those. And then we used to have, the best thing we used to have was the turkey shoots at the fairgrounds. That's when we could shoot a gun. Yeah, we made a lot of money out there. There's so much a shot, and then the pellet closest to the center gets the turkey. And we made some money with that. It's a lot of fun too. And then we had the normal stuff that you usually do, garage sales, rice sales, and then we have Euro scholarships that we give out now too. So that's good. And then our club, we volunteer in collaboration with the Methodist Church. Yeah, Deborah will talk about that. But I volunteer at my church to give groceries out to the hungry. And one Wednesday we had 105 families come through Shalimar Methodist. And then the mayor just like to go to church. They at Trinity, they do. The guy I walk with, her, works there too. So there's a lot of needs out there, and you just got to have something to volunteer to do to help other people out. So that's what we've done. And then some of the presidents we've had, this will bring back memories to some of them. Mike Meade was, he joined the club in '75, and then he became president of the club, I guess, a couple times. And then Louise Odom was the president in '95 to '97 and 2001. And Jim Odom, her husband, was the one who sponsored me in the club in 1978. And then Jack Abanco in 1998, and then Louise Odom went back in 2001. And then Pat Bowie, who was a very successful business lady, she was the president in 2002 and 2003. So, and then Jim Weatherby and Deb, they went, Jim 88, 89, 2004 through 2022 as president and secretary of the Optimist for Walton. So we thank you for that. And then Deb Lucas is going to be the president-elect. She's unlooked. She's unlooked. You can't say enough accolades about her. I can't keep up with her. So that's what we have there. So what we can do now, I'm going to we'll go and get in line and get the food, and then I'll talk some more while you're eating, and it'll help save. And I'd like to point out that the governor, Karen Watson, is going to be here with us. She's the North Florida District governor, and then Lieutenant Governor John Brooks on the way out, unless we're talking into it. And so we're glad to have you all and everybody. So whoever wants to be first can, and then we have the mayor, Dick Ryan, yeah, he's a great mayor. They're, best one we ever had, really. And then I met Janie before I met him. Yeah, she was standing by a fence at Choctaw House one night, and I told somebody I need a vice president for the Booster Club, and they said, "Well, ask that." This actually happened. They said, "Ask that lady over the fence," and that's when I met you, and you became the vice president. So
He offered me a lot of money.
hey, the pay's good if you get the inside job. So we'll adjourn now and we'll go and.
We'll have Deb, while people are in line, Deb can talk. That
Yeah,
way
okay.
we'll speed things up for everyone.
All right, you got
So
it.
you're not sitting here. The food's out, we might as well eat it now. But while you're doing that, Deb will just talk about, more specific on some of the things that we've done in the last few years. Who's first? I see someone who's hungry.
Kendall goes first.
Okay, we're changing the order a little bit. This allows you to be able to listen to our community impact projects event while you're going to get food. Over here, you get to watch the presentation during your time here. You'll be able to see pictures of what we're doing. But measure of success in the community is what you do for the children. And Ron has highlighted what our community impact has been. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Ron has highlighted what our community impact has been in the early years, but I'm going to talk more about what we did since 2020. Okay, so obviously, as you see in the pictures, we donate scholarships to middle school and high school kids in Okaloosa County, and we also are putting scholarships towards soccer, archery, sailing, tennis, volleyball, scuba diving, Boys and Girl Scout organizations, and we also provide scholarships for projects where you're submitting essays and they're scored, and then they get the opportunity to win scholarship and put that towards school supplies, which are important, or scholarship, paying for school. We've also, there'll be a picture in here you've seen where we donated towards Make-A-Wish, and that organization makes wishes come true for children. And we sponsored 2 children. Terminally ill children is who gets the sponsorship. And my son was one when he was 3 years old. And it was a miracle, the opportunity to have a wish granted. And I really think that turned him around, and it allowed him to survive. So Make-A-Wish is really important. So we donated towards them a couple of years ago. We donate towards the Okaloosa Sheriff's Departments in North and South Okaloosa, providing money for holiday gifts for children, needy children or foster children. We've done that. So relative to school supplies, you'll see us organizing school supplies and backpacks. And we actually reach out to 55 schools in Okaloosa County. But we've donated towards 42 of those schools, providing 1,500 school supplies and 800 pounds of hygiene items. That's 1 year. So that's a big effort. We coordinate and serve. You saw pictures, you heard Ron talking about us feeding hungry and homeless and needy people in Okaloosa County every Saturday. We also hand out the groceries. Ron mentioned that 3 times a week to needy families, the hungry people. And the groceries they hand out is 17,000 groceries to that many people last year. That's last year's count. So that's a lot of people that we've impacted. So how do we do so much? Well, we do fundraising, but we've also been successful with grants. And I write the grants for teaming up with Optimist International, and up till now, every grant I put in, we won. So those are matching funds. So that makes our money stretch farther. So that money is going towards educational materials, like I talked about, for the needy kids in Richburg. Those were special needs kids, actually, with autism. And we got special educational material for them. We also got hygiene items and school supplies for Okaloosa kids in Okaloosa County several times. We've gotten food for the malnourished children in Okaloosa County twice. So that's several times we got that grant. We've gotten, right now we're on our 2nd grant on teaching life skills for children. So you'll see pictures of us teaching cooking, baking, sewing, and we're also offering first aid, CPR, and AED for children. And that's coming up next month, and our club here is sponsoring that for children. And then, so you say, well, how are we doing that? Yeah, we have our organization is maybe 30 or 50 or whatever, but we do a lot with who we have, but we do it successfully by collaborating. So that has made our successes span out farther to more kids. And we use public relations, we're on Facebook, that helps grow our presence in the community. And we also, with the collaboration, it's key to expanding our community impact, like I said, and it gives us more than doubling our return on investment. It's higher than double. So that's pretty impressive. So I'd like to announce the organizations that we collaborate with. Obviously, Optimist International is number one because they award us grants that I put in for. Food for Thought is in Destin and Okaloosa, but they serve more than Okaloosa County, but that's what we donate for food. A Better Life for Kids, Sons of Italy, somebody representing here. Could you put up your hand? Sons of Italy, see? Thank you for coming here and thank you for your donations.
You're certainly welcome.
And then we also have the GFWC Northwest Florida Service Group is in Northwest Florida. That's a 501c3. We work in this Bread House, First Methodist of Crestview Soup Kitchen, Women's Service Group, a youth mission, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and we work with the Okaloosa School District. Because without them, I don't have my contacts, right? And they surely appreciate our help with the children. So, thank you for your time.
I will try to, I've got to watch, my voice sometimes gets a little loud, so I'm going to try to keep the microphone away from me. To go even a little further in a lot of what we do, one of the pictures on there, in fact, I think it's the one at the top right, the top left-hand corner of the last page, was a program we ran on to teach kids how to bake. We actually got one of the people who donates with us, she came and she actually did a whole baking presentation with children. Her name's Lashida, and she actually, if anyone ever watches the Food Network, the Beat Bobby Flay, she actually beat Bobby Flay.
Oh.
And some of her desserts are over there in the boxes. So when you leave, take along a box of desserts. That's what we got them for. She is really good in this community. So if anyone's looking for good desserts or doing programs where like team building, she does that using baking. One of the things I wanted to give is something that we just received yesterday, which was, and I actually see another one here, Ron, and I'm not going to jump on you. We received a proclamation from the mayor of Crestview because of a lot of the work that's being done with the school districts, with the homeless and the needy. It's what everyone does, and it's something that I'm trying to, that I want to push on others, and we're getting great feedback from our club, that it's about identifying needs in your community, and then once we identify them, to actually say, how can we actually meet those needs? And it's been something that's the Optimist has done for decades. And since the club in its current rendition started in '74, it really is something that's looking forward in the community, and the forward looking, I should say, in the community to how we can help and how we can make things better. So one of the things that we always do and I always bring up is, has anyone seen a need? If you see a need in a community, bring it up. If it's needs with kids, come to us. That's what we're here for. Is it something we could jump on right away? Maybe, maybe not.
I'll put it in the grant.
Deb will put in a grant. And, you know, it's funny that she has the last six grants she's done. She has been awarded. So she's 6 for 6 right now. So that's wonderful. And that's with Optimist International and others. So working for the government, she knows how to write grant proposals. So that's where that helps a lot. But I wanted to say, you know, thank you to everyone for coming today. And additionally, I will say it again, if anyone sees a need in the community, bring it to us. Let us find a way to meet the needs of this community so that we can make it better. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. I have to, the founder of the club was Noel Faddis in 1974. And he's 88 years young, and he's in the Carolinas 6 months out of the year. And he read this to the club, and wanted me to read this, and then I'll give you a copy of it to take home. He was he was the past Florida governor of Optimist International, past Optimist International vice president and board of directors. So he's got quite an accolade that follows him, but he started 11 clubs himself in Optimist. He said, "Dear Ron, to my fellow optimists, the most gracious, hardest working, most dedicated, fun-loving people I know, I send you my sincere congratulations and heartfelt thanks for 50 years of enthusiastic and selfless service to the youth community of Fort Walton. 50 years ago, as Lieutenant Governor of the Florida District of Optimist International, I was challenged by Governor Roger Shaw to charter a new club in Fort Walton. I accepted that challenge, and the rest is history, because you and your predecessors accepted the challenge too, by recognizing the need to build a better community through Optimist-sponsored programs and services. You fed the poor, you shared the fruits of victory and the agony of defeat with your young athletes. You poured out your hearts and applause and praise to your rhetorical contestants. You've honored our veterans and generously donated money for so many worthy causes, all while investing endless hours of community service. Now, after 50 years, I, along with you, am overwhelmed of having been witness to the miracles you performed for your youth and community. But now there's so much more to be done, as your community needs you much more than ever. I urge you to share your optimist lives with others. You know there's a little light in all of us by God's design, but you can't be a beacon if your light doesn't shine. So be a beacon for optimists. Bring in a new member, build a new club, always strive to be the best member. With this attitude, you surely will continue to be the best. I know that 50 years from now, with God's blessings, the members of the Optimist Club of Fort Walton Beach will look back and thank you for the strong foundation upon which the future towers of your club were built. You see, I have hope and faith. And my hope and faith tells me that your club, the Optimist of Fort Walton Beach, will always be leading the way in serving your youth and your community. Thank you all for you've done and all you will continue to do. Make me so proud. God bless the Optimist Club of Fort Walton Beach, and that's signed Noel Faddis. He was quite a gentleman. And I'll give everybody a copy of that so you can have it. So he couldn't be here because of the challenges he had otherwise, and he came down with the COVID a couple of weeks ago. So So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you the mayor of Walton Beach and let him speak. And
Ron?
you're welcome. Thank you for coming. This is a hard-working mayor here.
Thank you. Janie and I are really pleased to be here this afternoon and this evening. We've known the Weatherbys, we've known Ron since the 80s, and good friendships run deep, and again, thank you for allowing us to be here. The city of Fort Walton Beach did prepare a proclamation, and I'm sorry Mayor Whidden couldn't be here tonight. Mayor Whidden and his wife Ann are good friends of Janie's and mine, and I know the city of Crestview enjoys and appreciates what you do as much as the city of Fort Walton Beach does.
They had a family event that came up at the last moment.
I will speak a little bit on his behalf because I said they're good friends, and I know they appreciate it as well. I also want to say I did a little homework before I came today, but my homework did not scratch the surface of the accomplishments of this club. I knew of your involvement with the schools, I knew of some of the food programs you do, some of the food giveaways. I did not know anything about the sewing portion. I didn't know anything about your hats at Christmas time for those that need them. And as we went through the slideshow and I looked at that, I said, I didn't even scratch the surface with my research. Your club does so much for so many, and I'm really truly honored and humbled to be here. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas Optimist International is a worldwide volunteer organization with almost 3,000 clubs and over 80,000 members in more than 20 countries. Its members work each day to make the future brighter by bringing out the best in children, in their communities, and in themselves. Whereas the Optimist Club of Fort Walton Beach is an integral part of the organization whose members are dedicated to providing those services to our community in many ways. Whereas the club's members feed the homeless and hungry each week with groceries to over 17,000 people, providing home-cooked meals to over 4,500 people, and participate in the Kids Food Backpack Program with other organizations to provide food for our hungry students. Whereas the club collaborated with other organizations to provide school supplies and hygiene items for the homeless, the needy, foster children, and purchased autistic kids' learning materials for 2 schools in Okaloosa County, and provided a grant for teaching life skills for the at-risk kids. Now therefore I, Dick Ryan-Yerson, by virtue of the authority vested in me, as mayor of the city of Fort Walton Beach, do hereby celebrate 50 years of that dedicated service by proclaiming today, September 14th, 2024, as the 50th anniversary of the Optimist Club of Fort Walton Beach Day in the city of Fort Walton Beach, and encourage all businesses and citizens to support the activities of the club. On behalf of our city, we wish them continued success for their dedication in bringing out the best in children and community, servicing our children's needs in Fort Walton Beach and Okaloosa County. In witness whereof I appear to set forth my hand. And Mr. Dawson, may I present this to you?
Thank you. Before you run off, I got something for you. We just changed the papers. So in appreciation for devoted service to the welfare of the community and the nation, presents Mayor Richard Rogers. On behalf of the Optimist Club of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, the 50th anniversary celebration, 14 September 2024. Thank you for what you do. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So now I want to introduce Mitzi and have her come up just for a few minutes. She's honored us as the president, so she's just going to tell you a little bit of what it was like when she was.
I can remember.
Not that old. Now, we go back a long
I
time.
remember this days, always. Hey everyone, my name is Mitzi Roth. I grew up here in Fort Walton, the youngest of 11 children, so I maybe got a little lost sometimes in that family. But I do remember once I got to Choctaw, and of course my brother was a superstar on the football field, so you know, got me a little notoriety there. But once I got to be a senior and became the president of the Optimist Club, And you know, it really probably kind of changed my life somewhat because, as I said, being the youngest of 11, you kind of fall between the cracks sometimes. But I remember we always had a lot of support from Ron especially. We did, you know, lots of different service projects throughout the community, but it's hard to remember specifics. But I remember very specifically that, I don't know if it was Ron or the club, but they provided us, you know, every year you have your football homecoming, and they provided us a space to keep our float, where we had weeks to work on it, where it was in a dry area. So, and I believe we won the contest that year. Which seems like a little thing, but that's a big deal because they really put themselves out for us, you know, 30, 40 kids or whatever, so that we could be safe. We could work on it at night when we were in a safe area. You know, I'll never forget that. And it was, you know, like I said, it may not be a big feeding the hungry thing, but it certainly made a change in our lives to give us memories that we'll remember and do remember forever. We have wonderful class reunions to this day. Hundreds of people from our class still get together. We get a hotel, we always do something in Fort Walton. I refuse to do it in Destin because we don't live in Destin, but that's kind of like.
Thank you for that.
But, you know, like I said, giving the opportunity to do the leadership, and I was in business for 30 years for myself. My husband and I own a small tire store in Fort Walton. We just really are entranced in the community, and part of it began because I was able to rise above being one of the 11. So, and as I said, I know that was Optimist, but it was a lot of Ron, to be perfectly honest with you. To this day, I would see him throughout my time growing up here, and he always remembered me, he always knew my name, he always said hello, he was always sweet to my children, and that goes so very far, and I know that you all appreciate him too. So I know that wasn't your plan for me to. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mitzi.
You're welcome. 1981.
When you're one of 11, that's a clan. Their dad was Colonel or what?
He was, and we owned Playground Tire on Racetrack Road, which is now Big Ten, no,
Something, I don't know what it is.
Pebbles,
Changes names all the
Pebbles
time.
now, yeah.
Well,
But my
thank you for
husband owns
that.
OK Tire, so if you ever need anything, go see him, because he's a good man.
Thank you
so much, Ron.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. Got something special to do? Couple of something special. What we got is, there's some among you that have done a lot to further optimism in the community. You help?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would like to, I'm gonna give you a little history of this couple. They're very special. So, this gentleman was a pilot in the United States Air Force and retired as a lieutenant colonel in 1988. He's a life member who joined the Optimists at Fort Walton Beach in 1988, was a lieutenant governor 3 times, 93 to 95, president of the club in 88, 89, and then 2004 through 2022. So they're very special. He kept it together, left us in good order. He even served as president of the Choctaw Booster Club 2000 and 2001. And our club was honor club for that duration while he was the president. And he even printed the bull, which was a club bulletin, and mailed it out. Won an award for bulletin 2 times. he mailed it out to all the Optimist International and to the Optimist Club members. And Debbie, as a captain and executive officer in the U.S. Air Force, and retired in 1990. So, Debbie's a life member also, who joined the Optimist of Fort Walton Beach in 1990. Secretary of the club for 100 years. Actually, it was 2004 to 2022, but we appreciate that. Deb's famous quote was, "Why not, why not?
Reason's a reason.
Reason's a reason." They had the blessings of being stationed there. That's where y'all met, wasn't it?
And that's where Glenda was born.
Yeah, Glenda's their daughter of, she's married to a local dentist.
Candace.
I can't say his name, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dennis Coral.
LaCourt, okay. And then Debbie has a wonderful daughter named Danielle, and she works in the Museum Art Department at the University of North Dakota. She's doing very well for herself, and she lives in California, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's now moved.
She's moved back, okay. So, if you'd like to come forward, I'd like to present you with a plaque. It says, with this award in recognition of 20 years of visionary guidance, exceptional leadership, and unconditional commitment, serving the youth as President, Secretary, Treasurer, and Board of Directors of Optimist of Fort Walton Beach, 14 September. Congratulations. You can pay me later. We appreciate you too. This is a very special couple. And, so we were blessed to have them.
We are very lucky to have them because for 18 years, they basically ran the club. They kept the club going. And they left us in great shape. We are moving forward because of them. The club is here because of them. So, we even looked at changing the name and from Fort Walton to the Weatherby Club, but couldn't get that one done.
There's a lot of money involved in that. So, thank you all. You deserve that. Now, I got another presentation. So, this person has a bachelor's major in business administration and accounting, played basketball in college in CAA, Optimist of Fort Walton Beach Treasurer to 2022 to the present, NAUI technical scooter instructor. Huh? Now I'm not good in English. I barely made it. So, U.S. Coast Guard licensed boat captain, president of Niceville Valpy Lions 2022 until now, and First Methodist Rescue co-coordinator of the Soup Kitchen, a nonprofit co-founder of Better Life for the Kids. So it's an honor to be able to honor Steve with this award in recognition for 4 years of insightful, exceptional leadership and unconditional commitment serving our community youth as treasurer and board of director of Optimist of Fort Walton Beach. It's my pleasure to bid him this appreciation award. Congratulations, buddy. Thank you.
Am I hiding behind the flag?
Joshua, would we take another picture?
Yeah, let me have
I
it.
need a better picture.
Okay, we'll get this right. Get it? All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you're,
Yeah, you kept that under.
Yeah.
sure did. Hey, y'all.
Sometimes it's very hard to do.
Especially when you're on the board. Yeah, you sit down. So, I have one more to go. And, these two guys right here are unbelievable. You know, how they got to us was, my sponsor in the Optimist Club in 1978, his grandson's wife joined the club, and they lived in Jim Oden's old house, still. And they brought this couple to the Optimist Club. What a blessing. And then she went on to better things. So we were blessed to have these two as a gift. And it's amazing that my sponsor's grandson did that. It's unreal. So now I have one more to give, and this is a President's Citation. Outstanding Optimist Club and member, 2023-2024. The Optimist International started this program this year, and it's really a good program. The president of the club can pick somebody and submit them, and then they write back. In the history of every club, there is one member said to embody the spirit and essence of optimism, who has been the club's inspiration and has contributed in an exceptional way to the advancement of optimism in the club and the community. The President's Citation is bestowed upon an individual who has demonstrated an exceptional dedication, care, and love of the club members, district, and Optimist International. In recognition of this remarkable service, I commend and bestow this outstanding club member President's Citation. This is Tracy Huxley that wrote this, to Deborah Lucas. Well, this is a surprise. You're not the only one.
It's all about Facebook, right?
Yeah. No, it's not about that. That's just, Karen can explain this.
Okay, look that way.
She probably knows more about this. All right. Thanks, Josh. But she worked with 22 years in the Navy. And
28.
28, and then jumped over to the Air Force.
Right. That's right.
At Avon, and very important person in our, well, he probably knows better because he worked on the basic programs too. So she's now employee of IS4S.
Yes.
She retired to go to work.
Yes.
But thank you for what you did.
Well, thank you.
You're so
That's
special.
such an honor.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, let's see what else we got here. She always likes to surprise people, boy. I think we pulled it over.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's good. So now, I'd like to introduce, I want to introduce Karen Watson, who's the North Florida governor. And she's going to speak a little bit about what goes on, and then she's going to induct the officers for next year. And then I'm going to have Lieutenant Governor John Brooks speak a little bit when that's over. If you want to.
I don't know.
You-
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
At church, I teach 3 to 5-year-olds Wednesdays and Sundays, so I know my voice projects very well. And especially some of them, so you have to tell them, don't do that, touch that, yeah. As he said, I'm Governor Karen Watson. I'm interim governor this year. Mary Fran was elected as governor and developed a brain tumor in January. She had surgery and we thought was doing very well, and it was I think it's called a geoplasty. It was right here, and she's just come to her tumors probably a month and a half ago now. If y'all got the email, and I know I gotta send you that email again, Ron. Her memorial will be 21st of this month in Lake City, and I'll send that off to him. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've been, when Jim was here, I was here. I think the last time I was here, so that's been a few years back. And I was governor in 2020 there, and 21, and we didn't have, well, we didn't do much. Honestly, I contracted COVID July 27th of 21. Spent 38 days in the hospital. They didn't think I was going to make it. And this is the power of prayer. This is me standing here because God brought me through this. There's just the prayers from my church and everything, and everybody else. Good news, we are bringing the second quarter back to Panama City. I have strived for that. Unfortunately, I didn't have much say in it until I was governor again. We'll be there for 2 years, and it's called Hotel Indigo in the St. Andrews area. It's right on St. Andrews Bay. Beautiful, brand new hotel. So I hope to see all of you there. So I'm excited. Our first quarter is going to be Hilton, Ocala, which is not too far. It's kind of like center of everybody, even kind of sort of for us. Hotels are just hard to come by. It's not like it was many years ago. So we are bringing second quarter back to Panama City, and first quarter will be in Ocala. Our third quarter is in Bushnell, if anybody knows where that's at. We get that facility for free to do our oratorical and CCDHH. Down here. The other thing, I think someone mentioned golf. Who was it? You talked about?
We did junior golf.
Okay, the junior golf. I'm proud to say Northwest Florida rocked it this year. I went down to Trump International in July. I'm from South Florida, from the Keys, Homestead. I'm an Air Force brat, okay, from Homestead Air Force Base. And I got down there and I told my husband, I said, no, you don't know what humidity is until you come back to Miami, and this is where I was at. It was bad humidity in the middle of July, and our 2 o'clock thunderstorms. The qualifier was in Funiac this time, back in April, I think it was April. And Panama City Beaches sent 12 kids. That's quite a bit of money.
That's a lot.
A lot of money to send, okay? They sent 12 kids. Out of those 12 kids, I'm proud to say 9 made the cut to go on to Tournament of Champions. 9 from this area. From Jacksonville, in fact I can tell you. Jack Cole from Jacksonville, Jackson Thomason from Cantonment, from Niceville, and Funiac. And there's a little girl that didn't make it the first round. I think she was 14. She was 14. She didn't make it the first time around. And they go out there, and if they make it, they get to what is called the Blue Monster. That's the golf course. That's what the course is called, Blue Monster. And this little old girl didn't make the first cut. And literally, these kids play their heart out. They're just fantastic. I was on the floor with her crying with her, She was from Seagrove area. So all of them were from this area. So we really rocked it. And they will be going to TOC, which is Tournament of Champions, in Howie in the Hills, November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, or 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, somewhere in November, which I can tell you more about that. We always look for volunteers. We had a lot of volunteers down there. But when you got 606 kids were registered in a 3-week period. That's a lot of kids, So you need a lot of volunteers to pick up for that. So hopefully we will have more next year. There is one other qualifier that Top Golf does down in Orlando. I don't know much about that because we haven't had anybody in that area, to be honest with you. It's always been the Panhandle that's really done the golf. International, we had 12 go from North Florida last year to Niagara Falls. The weather was 74 degrees. I can live with that, It was beautiful. We had a really great time, learned a lot. Our next one will be, they're moving the dates a little bit, so I'm not gonna give you dates. It will be probably the last week of June to first couple days of July in St. Louis, Missouri, which is where our headquarters is at. I'm governor designate and also governor-elect. So I'll be governor for 2 years, and that's why I worked the hotels out 2 years out, which got us a better rate, actually. What I'm going to work on the next couple years is some retention. We lost 3 clubs this last year. They aged out, basically aged out. We didn't have anybody to come in to take over for the ones that aged out. So therefore, and we've had several pass this year. Betty Kinchlow passed away, last December. We've just had numerous people that just aged out. So we're gonna work on that and building some new clubs. We're looking at, right now we're working on one for Lynn Haven area. So I'd like to come over here and work on some. The other thing we're doing, Joy, was that a Joy Club? She
JOI.
She does a Joy Club, okay.
Yes.
Alright, so Panhandle rocks the Joy Clubs. My problem with that is, major problem, I can't get any of them to a conference. If we do a Joy conference, I can't get anybody there from this area. Gulf Breeze, I think, has 242 kids in a Joy. So I would like to see if I can get a Joy one-day conference even, Panama City, Fort Walton, someplace, okay? Panama City's fixing to put in 2 new Joy Clubs. They have 2 older ones and now they're putting 2 new ones in, also in that area. So really the Panhandle is just, we've got the Joy Clubs, we just gotta get those kids in a place. I'm gonna lose money district-wise because I don't have anybody to step up for Joy. Marty, said she'd even come over here and try to help out. I said I need to get over and see Tom Nail and a couple other people over there. Let me see. Make sure I got everything here before we go on. I want to read a little something to you before we go on. A lot of people are putting new members in. Optimist International used to send out everything for you. They don't do that anymore. It's up to the governors to do that. So I will be sending out new member packets. And this will be something that's been going in this packet. Because a lot of people that come on, they don't know who's in our region, as we are the Southeast region. Who doesn't know what region we're in, where are we all at, where we started at, where North Florida and South Florida started at. So I want to read a little bit. This is what will be in my new member packet. I'm gonna move this thing's on wheels here, and I'm pushing on it. Optimist International, of course, started in 1919. The headquarters in St. Louis. Junior Optimist started in 1988. The first Optimist Club was in Buffalo in 1911, Buffalo, New York. The first international convention was held in Louisville, Kentucky. In 1919, the Optimist Creed was offered by Christian D. Larson in 1912 and adopted in 1922 by Optimist International in 1922. The international president is Tracy Huxley right now. The president designate is Janet Ord, and the new one, the elect president-elect, I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, I apologize. Kendo is his last name. Okay. The clubs are primarily in the U.S., Canada, and the Caribbean. We have a huge presence in the Caribbean. We're also in Africa, the Middle East, and we're growing in Asia, Australia, and European Union. And most recently, Nepal. Nepal has 19 clubs. I think that's wrong now because I think they've added 2 more clubs, so they got like 21 clubs. And they have formed their own district. Their district was part of, I can't remember where, somewhere in the United States. I think it's in, but Panama City has, and my club has kind of adopted 2 of them over the last few years before they got going. So they are growing strong. And then one of the little things about Nepal, which I thought was kind of interesting, somebody told them, they said, you're doing this for kids, which we are doing this for youth. I don't want to say kids, youth, and all these things that you guys do, or we guys, or anything like that. And how they project this to join, they said, do you want to prove yourself? How do you want to prove yourself? And he says, the guy over there, which I'm friends with on Facebook, he says, I want to prove myself by giving back to my community, giving back to the youth in our community. So it was really interesting how they project this, totally different from what several people do here. Each Optimist Club participate in Optimist International programs, which we talked about, oratorical, CCDHH, essay. The oratorical, I want to tell you, we've had several. There's one, I think he was in Gulf Breeze many moons ago. And I think he's like way up the chain in SpaceX. And he won the oratorical, and that's how he got to where he was. Good friend of mine that might remember Brigida. Whoever remember Brigida, she was a oratorical winner. Back when you could only do it when you were 16, that was the level, that's as high as you can go. She was 16 and she won it. She is now has a PhD in biology, and she came back and gave back to Optimist. She is a member of 2 Optimist clubs, by the way. Let me think. More than 10,000 unique programs. If you look on there, there's a lot more programs than there ever was. The arts are a big thing, so we need to probably look in that. Optimist conducted 65,000 service projects each year. That's throughout just Canada and the United States. We're serving 6 million young people. More than $78 million in their communities qualify. So where does your club fit in? We are part of the Southeast region, and we have the Great Plains, the Middle America, St. Lawrence, Southwest, Mid-Atlantic, Northwest, and Great Lakes, Southeast, and West Coast. We have a VP, Talonda Adams of Alabama, will be our Vice President, International Vice President this time, coming up on October 1st, I'm sorry. The states in the Southeast region are Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The Caribbean is also part of our district, and there's probably, I don't know, 300 or something clubs over there. They got a lot over there, because they, Barbados, Jamaica, there's quite a bit over there. Okay. I am your governor and your governor designate. And I think your foundation rep, who's your foundation rep?
I am now.
You are, okay, foundation rep, I'm sorry, I did not look that up before. And you're zone 4, and the one thing I wanna kind of plug in here, if you don't mind, zone 4, which is, the Pensacola area, Gulf Breeze, and of course, Fort Worth. I need a lieutenant governor. I have no one to step up to a lieutenant governor. He said he won't do it. I've been trying to talk to him.
Bribing you.
Huh?
Bribing.
Bribing, I tried. So I need y'all to think about that, because I don't have anybody. I need a lieutenant governor.
She looked at me when I was at the convention, I said, not this year.
Well, no, your name was thrown under the bus, okay? And ran you over too.
I mean-
It wasn't even him that said it.
I know, and it backed
It was
up.
CV.
And it backed up to make sure.
Yeah, he did, So, that's all I really have. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call me. Ron has my phone number. I'll make sure I leave a card with, your president. And, if anything else, if you have any questions or anything, just don't hesitate to call me. I want to make this a great next year for us and, get some more clubs back up and moving.
Well, thank you. Before you new member, the new officers, but I'd like to present you with, for devoted and unselfish service to the welfare of the community and the nation.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for the support of corporations so generously given to further Optimist values. Presented to Karen Watson, Optimist Governor, Northwest.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
I know you're busy.
Huh?
She's everywhere.
Well, September is a busy month because everybody does installation, so, I think I'm kind of home next week. My husband's like, we're always on the road. And then after that, we're in Oviedo, Ocala, and St. Pete. And there was something else I was gonna tell you real quick. In 1988, they let women become optimists. Isn't that great?
It was.
It was great.
Appreciate that mention.
And you know who the very first female governor was for all of OI? Just take a wild guess.
I know, but
I
I'm
know
not
you
gonna
know.
say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Take a wild guess.
Jim knows.
Why Hayworth?
That's right.
Yeah.
Mama Vi. And Mama Vi,
She's in the 90s now. She's
she's
still.
97. And I wanna be her when I grow up. That's why I
She
say,
is right
I wanna be
there.
Mama Vi when I
There
grow up.
she is right there.
In the red,
Yeah.
red.
Yep, that's Mama Vi right there.
And that's,
97. 97.
first female governor in office.
Yep. Yeah.
That's when they elected.
That's the first time they lied. She came in. Her husband, of course, was too. She is a tremendous lady. She goes on cruises every month, once for a week. She's gone on a cruise. So she called me the other day and she says, I need to know your dates because I got to plan my cruises. I said, yes, Mom. We call her Mama Vi. I said, yes, Mama Vi. So I gave her the dates so she could plan her cruises around the conferences. She's something else.
I always
I
thought
think
that.
the other day she said, last time we talked, she said she's done 100 cruises.
Yeah, she's on, I think back in, her birthday's in March, so she turned 97, and she turned 97 and went on her 100th cruise.
100?
100th cruise. Yeah. And Julie Hart, how many remember Julie Hart? I know y'all do. That's her cruising buddy. She's always on a cruise, and she lives in Mobile, drives from there all the way down to St. Pete. Oh, yeah. So they're on the cruise all the time, but she calls me because I said, I already given it to Mama Vi, so y'all can go on your cruises and stuff. But yeah, I want to be Mama Vi when I grow up.
Hey, Optimist goes as Vi goes.
Yes,
She's a world of knowledge.
yes, she is. She is. And if I have a question, or if I need to just, talk or something like that, that's who I call.
That's the first one I look up when I go to the convention.
Yeah. She'll be there.
Get my hug.
So,
So, you gonna,
I got everything. You just need your officers up here.
okay, we'll let you do that. And
You got a board director, secretary, treasurer, vice president, if any. Your president.
Yeah, okay. You gonna do the board of directors too?
I can.
That's the whole
Yeah.
club.
Huh?
See, That's the whole club. So,
Are they going back in? The
Yeah.
same ones?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to do those.
Huh?
Okay, we don't have
Yeah,
to.
that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've been elected to a position of trust and responsibility. I've already read this like 100 times, I'm stumbling over it. I know you appreciate the honor and, of being elected, and that's you demonstrated leadership, devotion to the club by your election. The club has expressed confidence in your ability and has placed it in your hands in the administration of your club of the coming year. So that's secretary treasurer, okay? Treasurer, okay, all right. You got a secretary? Yes, she's not here. Okay.
Amy, come on.
She's been hiding.
Oh, okay, secretary.
She pulled a John Brooks.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Still-
She volunteered
do you have
for
a
this
vice
job.
So, vice president, okay? And then president, right there, okay? When your club was formed, it was created with high ideas. It was established to promote the purpose of our organization and all that it symbolizes. To celebrate active interest in good government, to plan and participate in needed community service activities, to inspire respect for law, to promote patriotism, to help develop friendship and understanding toward people throughout the world, and to the maximum of your ability, both personally and as organized optimists, to aid and encourage all activities and measures that contribute to a better future for youth of our nations. Never in the history has the active participation of informed citizens been so necessary to a form of government, a way of life, progress, even our very existence. There is a growing need to vigorous action by people throughout the teamwork of Optimist Club. We may not always agree to what is planned or what occurs, but we must take part. No one can sit in the grandstand while things are being planned, decided, and accomplished. On behalf of your members and your predecessors and the leadership of Optimist International, I challenge each one of you to as the officers and directors of this club to provide leadership, inspiration, recognition, initiation necessary to achieve a level of administrative efficiency, effectiveness that will reward the club with recognized as a distinguished club. So that's gonna be your goal right there. With this challenge to you and granted by me, by the Optimist International, I hereby declare each one of you installed in your respective offices. And I'm gonna tell each one of you what you're supposed to be doing now. Secretary and treasurer, so I'm gonna say this together. Keep club activities, keep records of club activities, including board minutes, make reports to Optimist International on time, attend necessary correspondence, get well cards, thank you notes, etc. Handle financial affairs to serve the best of your club, receive and handle accounts of all the funds. And you don't have a vice president. Oh, you do have a vice president, sorry. Okay, vice president. And there's, a lot of people have 2 vice presidents. My club does not, but it has 1. Chosen to serve because of the outstanding leadership abilities. No higher compliment can be made to your club. Your duties: assist the president, accept delegation of important club duties, preside the club meetings when the president is available. Okay? Is not in attendance. All right, and you are the treasurer. Okay, which I read that before. Okay, so I'm jumping around here. Okay, president. Such a good job. Yes. Leading your club to greater achievements, set goals, settle for nothing less than a distinguished club that makes itself felt in the community. Obey the bylaws of Optimist International and your own club. Be eager to take counsel from members and committees, but also be ready to give it. Read the literature Optimist International sends you. It's in a lot of emails, trust me. And represent the club at district and zone meetings. So I need you to. Okay. I hereby solemnly swear on my honor as Optimist that I will carry out the duties of the office in which have been elected to the best of my ability. In loyalty to my club and in harmony with the bylaws of my club, Optimist International, so help me God. It doesn't say that. On behalf of the
So you wanted me to repeat that?
No. I started that, I did that a few years ago, I don't do that anymore. Yeah, on behalf of the authority vested in Optimist International, I'm happy to declare you duly installed in your respective offices.
Amen.
The president award kind of come up, we had it before, and it kind of went away and it's come back again. And I think Jan Ord, which is our next president designate, will be having the same thing. In other words, we want clubs to recognize someone in the club that has that leadership skills. And when you get the president's award, that's like your highest award to get. My club does, the president's award. We do rookie rock star. If you get someone new that's really out there, just hitting it, doing really good, we give them a rookie rock star, a little plaque.
All right.
And the key award, and I'm saying this because I have won them. The key award, when you got someone that's over a volunteer, your fundraiser, one of your whatever fundraisers you do, look at them. They're leading that fundraiser to get whatever you need to make the club go. And there's a couple other ones, but those are the 2 ones I love because I want to celebrate this person coming in, and I want to celebrate him or her to say, good job, I'm glad you're here, you're doing your knockout job. So, that's all I have.
Thank you. Sir? Yeah, I am going to get that right now. Okay. Now I'm going to say, yeah, okay, all right, that's good. I'm just going to do it without the mic. I want to put an advertisement in for the Satsuma fundraiser we're going to have. Kelly Mateo and Kevin, his dad is Basil at the Road House. they have, her eldest has a Satsuma tree farm. And we signed on to them to sell Satsumas. And they'll be delivered, we're gonna take orders all through September and October, part of November, and then when the trees are ripe, we'll deliver the fruit. So, you know, if somebody wants to buy some good fruit, it's a good fundraiser to have, so. And then, we have these things sitting around on the tables that are, just items that we thought that people might wanna look at and share and, maybe purchase one, so. But before you leave, we have the desserts. Everybody gets one to go home with. The one that defeated Bobby Fay on TV. She's got, her business is right across the street from Choctahatchee. She's in that plaza. Yeah. And, she's got a twin sister. And, but she does real good. Now I want to, have John Brooks come up and, give us his going away speech. He deserves it, man, 'cause they put one over on you last year, man, and then it backed up.
I think you need that to be lieutenant governor.
You know what, I did too, but it did the pressure off of me, I wanted.
You hear that?
What's that?
It's up to
You are
Lieutenant
Lieutenant
Governor
Governor's
replacement.
find
Is
replacement.
that how it works?
That works.
I don't think you're in the headlight.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I don't think that's in the bylaws. As CD would always remind me of, well, John, it's in the bylaws or none in the bylaws, and so whatever I say, he'll bring the bylaws, you know, so. But first of all, I want to appreciate President Dawson for inviting me here today. And over the course of the years, for the past 7 years that I've been Lieutenant Governor of Zone 4, I pretty much just invite myself to attend a meeting. So I just sometimes Jim Weatherby, you know, and of course Ron, just an email and say, hey, I'm coming by to visit, you know, and everything. So, but nevertheless, I want to probably reiterate some things we've already heard, you know, today, and we have heard about retention, and so the Zone 4, as we've already heard, is that it consists of 4 clubs in the zone, which there's the Pensacola Club, Fort Walton Beach, Pensacola Beach, and Optimist. And there's, of course, indeed a need for 4 additional clubs. But what I have found in more so Zone 4, because that's, you know, what I know, the membership have been, you know, more so steady, you know, with very little, you know, contraction, meaning that memberships might dwindle a little bit, you know, so, but it's held, you know, steady. But there is something that's been on my mind as I have looked around at some of the clubs and thought, okay, so we have many members that are 80 years old plus. Very few that are, let's just say, you know, 55 and younger. And we're aware that, you know, they may have kids in high school, maybe college, and now we're competing with inflation, so that's a factor, you know, as well. But as we've heard already mentioned, is you know, just have lost, you know, 3 clubs because members have, you know, aged out. So when that happens, then that means that, you know, we're unable to then provide some funding to the youth education sports programs, you know, when we're unable to do that. Or maybe those specific clubs obviously are unable to do that. And depending on the fundraising, you know, activities, the youth are unable to then get their volunteer hours, you know, because they will assist us, you know, depending on the fundraising at hand. And like for example, Gulf Breeze and the Pensacola Club have a Christmas tree sale. So they'll have some of the middle school, high school students, Winter High School, that will assist, you know, with those sales. Well, in doing that, you know, the kids receive volunteer hours, you know, for doing so. And so let's just say, for example, you know, should a club dissolve, then now they're able to get those volunteer hours. So that's how come there is a need, and always need, you know, to invite guests to attend a meeting and direct them to, you know, say for example, Fort Walton Beach Officers Club Facebook page, and they take a look at it, that way. And, so, yeah, just continue putting the name out there. And this in particular, something I have recognized and noticed because I might cheat and look at their Facebook page, so in addition to visiting the club. And I was saying, man, this is such a powerful club, very powerful in the Okaloosa County area. Smaller numbers, but very powerful in the way of its impact, of what they do within the community. With feeding, families, providing students or kids, with toiletries or care packages, and just the list goes on. It goes on. And I think at one time I mentioned Ron and said, I'm not sure how do you guys do this? I mean, you're busy, not huge in numbers, of course, but you're busy, and this is such a powerful club and making a significant impact in the local community. So I applaud, for Walton Beach Honest Club. I mean, your ears might have been burning, and Jim, as you were president, your ears might have been burning, and I might have just mentioned that, I don't know how many times, so, but I really commend, this club for everything that it has done, everything it's doing, and everything that will continue to do on behalf of the youth in Okaloosa County. Thank you.
Thanks, John. So, I think we've covered everything. Anybody have anything they'd like to add to or say?
I would like to say that who knew, Daniel Rich, he's been very sick, he's had cancer, and he got the all clear. What day did they call Virgil? Thursday, they got the all clear.
That's good.
So he's doing very well, and he should be back at the conferences again. Glad to have him back, because I need someone for media. He was my media guy, so I just wanted to let everybody know that I forgot to in my notes and stuff.
I'm glad. He called me up, I put a note in, and he said he was on the last treatment.
Yes.
So it came back good. That's great.
So I think they'll do some immunotherapy or whatever they do after that. We're going to do that. And of course, his sister's been over here with his parents, which is right up the road here. So.
Yeah. So, and his daughter, Mikala, she's a JOI.
Yeah, she is on the board for Joy. She's on the board, international board. So if I can get someone to be governor and Joy governor, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so that, yeah. Then also like to invite you to our car show on March 29th. Next year, March 29th, we do a huge car show.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Right?
That's a big deal. That's our big fundraiser. We do not do any other fundraiser anymore besides that. It takes a year for us to plan.
So you got a plan for it.
Yeah.
But that's good.
It's amazing. I've had the opportunity to visit, one of the car shows. I think that was like in 2022, I believe, and it was absolutely incredible. I loved it. Loved it.
So you have to come back.
Oh, I will, absolutely.
Yeah, you can come and go without depression.
In Marianna, Florida, I have a lot from Pensacola, for Walton, Gulf Breeze, Crestview. I have quite a few from Crestview clubs that come, Panama City, Eufaula, Alabama, and so on.
Mariana's not too far.
Jim, y'all have anything you'd like to say? Okay. Anybody else? I'm looking forward to working with you next year. All of you. You know the deal. Yeah. Rather than hitting the gavel, man, you can come late. Anyway, it's been fun, it's been good, and time flies.
All I know is for this just setting this up, between myself and my wife speaking to Ron, it was at least 3 to 4 times a day over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the governor's job would be like.
And, well, see, probably the governor's not having talked to one of us about the award you're giving to the other one, and then talking about the other one about the award you're giving back to the first
Yeah,
one.
that's kept secret from his family, because he was the officer of the year and she was the presidential thing. And I'm glad they started that, because anybody can get it. It's just
You just gotta apply for it.
Just apply for it.
And also the grants, the grants, you just gotta apply for them. Because when I went to actually I was in International, and they're saying, please, someone just apply for this money. And no one ever does.
It's an easy formula.
Yeah, it's like, out of whatever grants, I'm not gonna name them all, because there's several of them, but, you know, there's only like 1 or 2 or 3 max that apply for those. Well, the money's there, apply for it.
We're waiting right now to see if we got another one. Yeah, it's supposed to be announced soon.
Which comes back to my point is, if anyone sees a need out there, tell us. We got a grant writer here. So,
It gives me joy for us to get it and to help more kids.
She tells a good story and it gets real good.
Well, you just have to research the need and write about it. And there's need. Yes. So
So the backpack came from a grant too, didn't it?
yes, it did. Yeah.
That's a good program.
Everything
Yeah,
we
we
talked
got
about.
one of those also, Jackson County.
the food backpack or backpack with school
Backpack.
supplies?
Yeah, backpack for kids.
Yeah, we do the
For
food
the
day.
food,
Yeah,
the food.
food, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when we started out, I remember before COVID, we started out maybe 200-ish backpacks going home on the weekends and spring break and whatever. After COVID, it was like 800.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I think,
From your club?
Not from our club, from several in the community, yeah.
So there are others.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
others in the community that give all back to Backpack for Kids. We've gone out there numerous times, of course, packed. Spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving's coming up, we'll do that. The fall break, now they have, kids have fall break, we'll do that for that, certain times there. we
So
go.
is it just in your county?
Yeah, just.
yeah, they're really set by counties. I
Yeah.
think for Okaloosa, they're doing 4,000
Yeah, I bet
backpacks
so.
a week.
You know, we have 50,000 about in Jackson County.
Right.
Now, out of those 50,000, there's
Yeah.
a lot of prisons.
Yeah,
And including the federal prison, so 10,000 probably of those are in prison, so they don't, they count the census,
yeah.
but they don't count
But
it.
yeah, it's that and Walton, they do ours in Walton.
Yeah.
And Walton's about the same.
So one obstacle is if the families don't put in the paperwork for the food, to
Yeah,
tell them
you're
they're
I think
financially
they
in need.
identified them by, for us over there, I think they identified them by income.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that income, so our schools, because we've got a lot smaller school system than you do, look at that income and they'll base it off of that. My husband and I, but more my husband, works for, volunteers at a food pantry. And how many are you serving now, every week?
We don't,
And what, just in Jackson County?
every Wednesday, but right now, every Wednesday, we're handing out about 200 every Wednesday.
Back, so they come in, I mean, it's just.
And we get new ones every week.
Every week you get new ones. At the beginning of the month,
Yeah,
you get of course, a lot more.
yeah. And that's only, they can only pick up once a month. So we get 200 every Wednesday, so
Yeah,
that's,
Yeah, we're
Quite a bit for our little county.
multiple times a week.
yeah. It's,
where did the poop come from?
it's a shame.
second harvest,
The homeless,
Springs, we actually are looking for
But
Wendy's
the
and
school is telling us
Walmart,
that
they,
the families in need
They
with
don't
low
contribute.
income aren't filling out the paperwork.
To get it.
Not all of them are doing it, so we're not able
farm
to
share,
help
and get some
everybody.
farm share.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we're much smaller, they can tell who doesn't, they'll send it home. I know when we went over there, spring break, when we did the last batch, I know it was 600 and some odd that we did.
And then who we collaborate with, collaborates with grocery stores and farmers, so that $14 a week will feed a family of 4. That's, you can't do that, right? So it's a community
Right.
pulling their resources together to be able to get that price. So if we put in $14, it's being pooled with the other community donations.
We belong to what is called Network of Caring, and what is it, something hunger. We box every year, and how many?
Yeah, I can't think of that. What-
There's several others, I mean, there's hundreds of people that do this, but I think we boxed up over
Several players
2,000
get together.
in one day to give out. And this was in Atlanta, we went to Atlanta this time, this is in Atlanta. It's not just our area, this is
Yeah, it's not good.
it's a
anywhere.
worldwide problem, you know.
Yep,
Yeah, and I think some of the farmers, I think, what's the one, Second Harvest that brings in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
the Second
Harvest
Harvest that brings
we
in
get
for them, yeah,
that farm share,
farm share,
and we have we actually have a
local.
big local truck farmer, that if he got anything left over, he calls and we go get it.
That's one.
You can, so.
We all time give out.
And we're in a farming
lots,
community,
Stuff like that.
yeah, huge farming community, so we raise a lot of peanuts.
Going to the peanut festival in November?
We never do. Maybe if I was 20.
That's a lot of people that,
It is a lot of people, but, we haven't been, of course, since pre-COVID, we haven't, I don't know, just nothing really there.
I've never been to it, so I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, there's nothing there for us. Oh, I think we took our granddaughter to the, she's 4-H, so she shows a rabbit.
Yeah.
And,
You see a rabbit ever seen?
Huh?
Yeah.
a rabbit, yes, and the rabbit's on the leash, oh, yes.
I took a rabbit to the fair.
Oh, yes. She won second prize, she won second in the farm, and she lives down in 45 minutes west of Gainesville. And, she was so proud of that rabbit, Bon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun.
What's so weird about that, when I was a kid, we had rabbits.
Don't say
If
it.
their ears flopped, we always put oil in the ear because it was mites or something. This rabbit ears naturally flop, I don't understand that. And she wins.
And she wins with this rabbit, Bon wins, you know, on a leash. So, but it's all about kids.
Anyway, Ron, we'll stop talking about rabbits.
hey, I love it, man. My granddaughter's got one that's, she's had for years. She's got a leash and everything.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
Her rabbit eats better than she does. They gotta have a special diet.
Yes, they do. They do.
And,
Special everything. Oh, yes. Crazy.
She takes it, she had, I don't know if she's got a carriage for it, but she's got a harness put on, they go
Yeah.
for walk.
Yep. Oh, she got all that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I never would have thought that for a rabbit, but okay.
Yeah, whatever it takes. Well, look,
She
thank
got her
you
little
very
chuck.
much. And, with that in mind, what we'll do, I'd like to, say to the Optimist trees on Walton. So, John, can everybody see that? Promise yourself to be so strong and nothing to keep flying. Strong health, happiness, and prosperity in every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there's something in you. To look like the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To take on the best, to work on for the best, and to expect more. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past, and press on to the greater achievements. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times, and gives every living creature a smile. To give so much time to improvement of yourself, but you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for dignity. Well, we'll see you next year.
See you next 50 years. Oh yeah, don't forget your desserts. We've got, oh yeah, everyone, we do have the silent auction. So if anyone wants anything, take a look, and
All the numbers.
doesn't look like there's much competition, so if you see something you like, I'd put it down. You got a really good chance of getting it. And there's food, clamshells here to take home and